Good morning. Right, before we get into the news, I just want to reiterate that I will be doing my regular news updates here and on YouTube, and possibly some other analytic videos, more likely to be on YouTube than on TikTok. Day-to-day updates, I'm probably going to start shifting over to Telegram. My chat is called Diplomacy is Free Chat, and the reason for that is because I find that my videos are at very least being removed instantly and then put back up after a fight. And what this takes away is hours of being able to share the right information, particularly when it comes to that Lando baguette and that country in Africa. And that is hugely detrimental because when things are shifting like they are in such a big way at the moment, things are shifting on a really large scale. And the problem that we have with videos being removed or censored for hours like they are is quite similar to what we had when we used to do media in wars previously, which is that there's a lag between something happening and the people actually being informed of it happening. What this means is it gives quite nasty people quite a long time to perform quite awful things before anyone can really know about it. I don't feel it's appropriate for my videos to be censored until some governmental agency of some baguette wielding country can tell TikTok or anyone else that it's appropriate for me to say what I'm saying. I don't even care if some things I say aren't 100% found to be true. I recite information given to me from quite often people on the ground. Maybe they're hearing things that aren't true. Maybe that's part of their structure. This seems a very, very weird reason to prevent people from communicating on TikTok about stuff. Um, and it is essentially designed to hold us back. It shouldn't matter. Even if it's just having a story, it shouldn't matter. And these people have insisted to us that it does. Anyway, so I will be getting on with my news now. But as I said, I will be doing my updates. But I will be strongly trying to move away from regular updates through the day on TikTok because it's just it's just not productive anymore. You don't know when your work will be removed. You don't know when you'll be attacked. You don't know when your account will be banned. It's become a bit dangerous. Anyway, let's get into it. First up, Estonia has solved the problem in Niger, a country of 26 million people with a large enough army, by sending 5 troops in to solve the problems. Well, that's definitely going to do it, Estonia. Thank you so much. Does that relate to how many points they last got in Eurovision? I don't know. This is a planned pipeline that runs through Niger into Nigeria and is possibly one of the reasons why Nigeria is not so keen to stand with Niger at this point in time. I will say, however, that Algeria has stood up with Niger and with Algeria, Guinea, Mali, Chad, Burkina Faso. It's not looking good. On the entrance to Belarus, here is how Europeans are welcome. Our children can tell mum from dad, and our dictatorship is better for people than your democracy, which I thought was quite excellent. The alleged far right AfD party has grown again in Germany, and it looks like they're going to be doing very well in the election next year. This came up on Telegram. This is a chat room owned by Ukrainians. They've watched people leave their holiday apartments for the summer, and they're telling their friends to come along and take over those apartments. So they're basically like professional squat arrangers for Ukrainian refugees to steal people's holiday apartments in on the continent. This was big news yesterday. 2 Belarusian helicopters violated the Polish air borders in connection with charged affairs. Belarusian Alexander Chesnovsky was summoned to the Polish Foreign Ministry. This is stated in a message posted on the website of the Polish Foreign Ministry. So a massive pearl clutching at these helicopters. The previously called groundless and tantamount to treachery statement of the head of the International Policy Bureau, that Kiev received a lot of help from Warsaw, which we all know is actually very true. Poland has decided to send more military personnel, combat helicopters to the border with Belarus because of the incident with the Belarusian helicopters, according to the Ministry of Defense. I mean, it sounds like a real incident, doesn't it? But actually, if you look at the pictures or videos, this was absolutely no threat. And the Belarusians have quite rightly said that the Polish are massively, massively overreacting. Not that we expect that from the Polish at all. They're always so kind and peaceful, but they have massively overreacted and are basically using this as a way of, again, pushing war, which is something we should all be aware of. The Ukrainians have removed the Soviet symbol from the motherland statue in Kiev. I just think this is utterly disgraceful. A number of Ukrainian men died in the Second World War fighting the Germans, and those who didn't, well, let's not talk about them too much because they're ruling the show now, aren't they? And the video will probably get taken down. Here it says that Ukraine has a plan if Russia assassinates Zelensky to carry on the war, but it's far more likely that Ukraine's own citizens will deal with this particular problem. Americans are being advised to join the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine to pay off their student loans and receive medical insurance. Way to go, America. I suppose you don't have to pay off your student loans if you're dead, do you? So there is that. Storm Shadow missiles give Ukraine a much longer stick, but Russia is already learning to adapt, the expert says. And this is in Western media, and I think it's a beginning realization that perhaps these game-changing weapons are not such. Here we have the either nosedive or stagnation of Germany's exports to various countries and spikes in various countries that I think perhaps the German people should be aware of. If you're sending an increasing amount of stuff to Uzbekistan and to Kazakhstan, then some of that's going to Russia, and perhaps the Germans realise that. Perhaps they don't care, but that is what's going on. This whole sanctions thing is just a complete farce. This I found hilarious. Russia takes its Ukraine information war into video games. Propaganda is appearing in Minecraft and on other popular games discussion groups as the Kremlin tries to win over new audiences. I mean, I don't know if the Kremlin's trying to win over my 6-year-old who plays Minecraft. Maybe that's something that I should warn her of, but when I looked into this a bit further, it came out it was literally just people decorating houses with a Russian flag. People decorate houses with different countries' flags all the time, but of course, if it's a Russian flag, it must be propaganda because you don't actually get clever Russians, you just get propaganda, just so we're clear. Here we are. The Ministry of Defense of Belarus called the statements of the Polish side about the violation of the border by helicopters of the Belarusian Air Force far-fetched. Well, it is, isn't it, really? I mean, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but they are very much non-threatening. Polish cafes are suffering greatly. Apparently, there's few people to come in, and with higher taxes and inflation prices, people are having to come and work in cafes. Owners are having to come and work in themselves, becoming more family run, to be honest, simply because they can't afford to pay staff. Right, that's it for this video. Please do remember, Diplomacy is free chat or Telegram. You can also find me on Patreon. You can buy me a coffee. Always much appreciated. I've got plenty more news to share this morning. So I'll go ahead and update all that. God bless everyone, and I will see you soon.